Hey there guys, and welcome to another Goblin Slayer video. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Goblin Slayer Season 2, the events that are going to occur, the villains. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, okay? So, unless you've been living under a rock, Goblin Slayer Season 2 has been announced, and it is being in production. We even received a really cool trailer that might be playing somewhere here. Yeah, I'll show you some pics. It's just a still image. They don't show any footage of it. I think it's the same studio, White Fox Studios. Yeah, so this is some great news. Now, this video is divided into 3 sections. Number 1, what should we expect to see in Season 2? Which volumes of the light novel will be adapted? You know, we're going to talk about that and how they will handle some of the material. The second section is a cool theory I have about what they might be doing for Season 2. And the third section is just me talking about my feelings about this series overall and what I kind of want from a Season 2. Okay? Let's get straight to it. Now, the first season of Goblin Slayer, of the anime, covered the first 2 volumes, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And it included a couple of adventures, right? We got introduced to Goblin Slayer, and then we traveled to the city of the water or something, where we met the Sword Maiden. Lake City? Was it Lake City? No. Anyway, this water city, right? So after that, the series concluded, the season concluded with our heroes returning back to the farm and fighting the Goblin King, I believe, or Goblin Lord. So these events were covered in the first 2 volumes. Now, we also had the movie. We had the Goblin Slayer movie that came out last year. It was based on this light novel volume 5, and it covered the entirety of this. So this has been covered already. So we have volume 1, 2, and 5. They've already been covered. Now, with Season 2, I do expect it to continue where the Season 1 left off, and I do expect it to cover volume 3, parts of volume 4, and potentially parts of volume 6. Now, you might say, okay, so what are the events that we should expect? What will transpire? Now, with volume 3, we have the Harvest Festival, which is arguably my favorite arc in Goblin Slayer. It's really heartwarming. Goblin Slayer gets to relax a bit, gets to go out on a date with my best girl, Cowgirl, over here, and then there's a bit of shenanigans with the Harvest Festival. The guild girl kind of tries to seduce him or something, and then we have, at the end of the Harvest Festival, we do have a big bad showing up, which is the Dark Elf. I'm not going to go into details of who he is and what he's going to do, but I've actually covered it on a really old video of mine about the Unpraying Ones, this group of Goblin Slayer villains that you can check out. I don't know where, but I've done a lot of videos on Goblin Slayer, so this is one of it, right? The Harvest Festival could take up around 4 to 5 episodes, with the establishing episodes to show, how everyone's doing and how the festival's going, and the final episodes being about the battle with the Dark Elf. And now, what about the rest? This is probably going to be a 12 episode season, so there's still like 7 episodes to go. I do expect them to cover some adventures that happened in Volume 4, because Volume 4, unlike Volumes 3, 5, and the rest, is basically a collection of short stories. And we saw one of these stories in Season 1 with the young warrior and the young young priestess, I think. I don't know. There was this duo of adventurers who went on this little adventure somewhere in the middle of season 1. And what I think they could do is add some of the most, action-packed short stories, like the Goblin Slayer versus the Necromancer short story. This can be adapted into one episode easily. In this story, basically, Goblin Slayer goes out. He leaves Priestess and the gang behind, and he joins the warrior and the lancer into a small adventure where they have to hunt down a necromancer. So this could be the case. We could see some of these short stories adapted. And then what I think they will do is they will skip the events of Volume 5 because these have been covered in the movie. So they may have a recap episode right there down the middle where they show some footage of the movie and they tell you what happened in the movie. And then they're gonna continue with Volume 6, which it's not that eventful. It's Goblin Slayer. He meets this wizard boy, this redhead wizard boy, who is connected to season 1 in some ways. I'm not going to spoil who this guy is. And they go on a little bit of adventure. This is the big question for me. Now, there's no doubt, I have no doubt, I can bet money that they're going to adapt Volume 3 and the Harvest Festival. Because it's really cool. It has battle, it has romance, it has everything. But anything beyond that is a question mark. Because some volumes have been less impactful and less eventful. They've had less battle, less war, less conflict. So could they potentially be skipping some of those? Could they be condensing the story into 1 or 2 episodes? We don't know. But it is a possibility. Now let's get to the second part of this video, my theory. Okay, so the studio in the first season did something really, really cool. It actually switched the order of the adventures. Because we got to Sword Maiden in the Lake City, Water City, whatever it was, first, and then they went back into the farm and they fought the Goblin Lord or Goblin King. Now, that's not how it happened in the light novels or in the manga. These things actually happened the opposite. But they thought and they decided, and it was an amazing decision, to finish the story with the battle with the Goblin King, because it's much more impactful. You have Goblin Slayer fighting for something that he loves and for something that he cares. And the story almost does a full 180, because we begin from this farm in the countryside, and then in the final episodes we return back to the farm. So what I think is going to happen, my theory is, they're going to switch the order again. They're going to adapt something else, like Volume 4, the short stories, or Volume 6 with Boy Mage or something. The first half, and the second half, I think it's going to be the Harvest Festival. And that makes a lot more sense, at least in my mind, because again, you have that cyclical nature where it ends with a very personal story about Goblin Slayer. And you also end it on a high note, because you have the duel with the Dark Elf, which is an amazing way to finish a second season. Whereas if you have that in the first episodes, then the latter half of the season becomes kind of empty. And you want to end the season with a bang. So I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to switch around the order. But I'm so glad they decided to continue adapting Goblin Slayer. I was a bit surprised. I really thought the movie was a final salute to the franchise. But no, apparently it's selling really well. It's selling like hotcakes. And the DVD sales are doing pretty well, which means another season. Yeah. So now the third part this is more for the Goblin Slayer fans, right? This channel was really born thanks to Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer was the thing that really put my channel into the forefront, and that's how I got my monetization, and that's how I got my first 1,000 subscribers. It was through Goblin Slayer and all the fans that wanted to hear more about it. Yeah, so I made all these videos. I love Goblin Slayer, right? So Goblin Slayer has this really special place in my heart where it doesn't matter where the story goes or what they do with the characters. It's there for me. It's inside my heart. And it has influenced my channel a lot. It has influenced me a lot. I thought it was a healthy balance of grim, dark fantasy with a lot of gore and actual stakes involved, rather than the other isekai. But I'm gonna be honest with you, progressively I started to lose interest in the series. And there were a lot of reasons for this. Mainly the over-reliance on the harem factor. Basically every other character we met was a female character who was added into Goblin Slayer's harem. I think by volume like 11, there are 5 times more female characters than male characters. In fact, I don't think we've had any male characters introduced since, I don't know, the dwarf and the lizard man. Like every volume, oh, it's this new cute princess or warrior girl we have to save. Why is it always like this? There seems to be a huge focus on the harem aspect, and also the stakes that were introduced in the earlier parts. I don't see them anymore. I expected some characters to die, and they haven't. Even secondary characters that we have no connection to, right? No. Not even these guys are allowed to die. You know? So, I don't know. That being said, I have not caught up with the latest volumes, like past volume 9, so I don't know what's going on, right? It could be the biggest thing ever. Goblin Slayer may be back on track. What I hope with this season is that they take liberties. I hope that they look at the volumes and they say, okay, what can we adapt? What is going to make for good TV? Now, there may be some amazing quiet moments that they can add, but I want the second season to be packed with action, with amazing moments. And again, they have this ability. They can pick and choose whatever aspect of the light novels they want. They can pick a battle from volume 6. They can pick an emotional scene from volume 8. I don't know. I think I really want to see them kind of plan ahead and be creative with the material, because the light novels are the light novels. Of course, the progression is slow, and okay, you kind of get lost into this world, but the anime is supposed to be action-packed. It's supposed to be a series where the protagonist is going ham and is killing all these goblins, and I want to see that. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to season 2. I really want to see what they do. I will cover it, absolutely. When it comes out, you bet. I'm going to cover season 2. But I do have some expectations from them. And I do want some battles. I do want some stakes. Again, yeah, in the story. So that's all, pretty much. Now, if you want to know more about the Dark Elf and the Unpraying Ones, check out my video on it. And also, if you're interested in Goblin Slayer, I have a lot of Goblin Slayer videos that you should check out. The Noble Fencer, the Tragedy of Goblin Slayer, a thematic analysis. And now I want you guys to tell me, what do you think is going to happen with season 2? What are they going to adapt? And do you want more battle and more action? Or are you okay with them covering every single light novel, even if that means that they won't have that much battle in them? Do you want to see those slower, more character building moments, or do you want to focus more on progressing the plot and seeing some amazing fights? I want to hear your opinion. Don't forget to hit like and smash the subscribe button. And, well, have an amazing day, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and, well, I'll see you on my next video. Until next time, fellow Goblin Slayers.